For business owners and leaders, they have a very clear understanding of what success means to them. It might be an increase in sales, it might be hitting a certain budget target, it might be achieving a certain degree of growth. But what about the doers within your business? The doers are the people who actually produce the product or service that your business is ultimately selling. We always say, if it's a law firm, it's the lawyers doing the legal work. If it's a construction business, it's the builders doing the construction, etc., etc. Each doer within your business needs to be aware of what the specific target they need to achieve on a daily basis to ensure the business achieves its overall goals. Something we see on a very regular basis is businesses that have very clear overall objectives, but the people actually delivering the outcomes don't understand how their performance fits into the overall objective. And the easiest way to break that down is on a day-by-day basis. When your business doesn't have a specific target on a day-by-day basis, your business becomes hostage to how the doers feel on any given day. If they're feeling up and ready and on fire, then you're going to have a good performing day. But what's going to happen when they wake up and are feeling a little flat, a little average? There's a really good chance that your business's performance for that day from that individual is going to be a little flat and a little average. We highly recommend implementing a specific target which defines success for them on a day-to-day basis. So they walk in at the beginning of the day knowing what success needs to look like, and they can walk out at the end of the day knowing that they've either won or lost. Not that we want our team to lose, but it's really good from a motivation perspective to understand how you can win and also feel the pain of defeat, so that when you come back the next day, good team members will be like, I want to make up that difference and get ahead. For accountability, we can break them down into 3 different ways. Firstly, individual accountability and individual targets. The second is a team accountability or team targets. Or the third option is an overall business target that you have on a daily basis. Let me give you an example of each. Firstly, from an individual target perspective. This is where you have individuals who are responsible for delivering the outcomes on a daily basis. They don't necessarily work on a team basis, but they have more control at an individual level around the deliverables they'll have on any given day. You're most likely to see this in service-based businesses such as accounting firms, legal practices, and engineering services. Their goal would be along the lines of how many hours were they billable on a daily basis, or what percentage of their time was billable on a daily basis. Moving on to a team target, this is where you might have smaller teams within a larger team working together to achieve a specific objective. This might be on a construction site where they're working as a crew, so the whole business isn't dedicated to that individual site, but that crew might be working on an individual site. It could be in a manufacturing business where they work within a small team to manufacture a specific product. Those teams or those crews need to have a specific objective they need to achieve each day. It might be an amount of product that's completed. It might be a certain amount of output. If you think of a construction business, it might be bricks laid. It might be square meters completed. Some form of metric that they can go, we started here and we finished here and our target was here, so we had a win for the day. The third element would be an overall business tracking target. Think of a manufacturing business along a conveyor belt where everybody needs each other to achieve the overall objective. They might have an objective of how much product they get out in a day. Also in a warehouse situation, they might have a target around how much product is delivered on a daily basis from that warehouse. Again, there isn't individuals, there isn't small clusters of teams. It is an overall business target for that specific location. The goal here is to have a specific amount of output you want your business to achieve each day. Once we've established what the goal is, and whether that's broken down on an individual, team, or overall business basis, that needs to be communicated to the relevant team members as soon as possible. The natural sequence of events would be ensuring that those individual targets tie back to your overall business target. The reason we work on a daily basis, it allows team members to reset each morning, thirsty to achieve their objective each day. We would recommend a monthly target that they're tracked against as well. Especially in manufacturing businesses or construction, there might be a day of prep, or there might be a day where you get a lot of things very close to completion, but not fully completed. One day might look terrible, and another day might look ridiculously amazing. That nuance we will understand over the journey, but the most important part about what we have achieved is we've got our team working towards a very specific target, and they know what they need to do on a daily basis, and we'll make sure that we're on track on a monthly, quarterly, and a year-to-date basis as well. But to do that, we have to win each individual day. Ideally, the target and how we're tracking against the target is visible to the team on a live basis if you have software and screens around to make that available. On a worst case scenario, you're looking at it on an end of day basis. How did we go versus how we expected to perform, or very first thing the next morning. When we're displaying this information, and for the target in general, we have to ensure that it meets these objectives. The metrics are simple to understand, and ideally there is only one. We know what the target is. As an individual, I either know how much I have done, or how much my team has done, or how much the overall business has done, and what the gap is between how much I've done and what my target is. Daily and monthly targets are the ideal time frame to achieve this. Is this designed to create competition? Absolutely. Your ideal team members would thrive on an element of competition. I think back to my very first accounting job. I remember there were 3 people who started the exact same time I did when I was 20, 21. We would get delivered a report once a week on paper onto our desk, benchmarking how we are going against each other. And as a competitive individual, I wanted to make sure I was on top of that list each week. Who wins in that situation? The business, because you've got an employee who wants to do the best they possibly can, and hopefully it is also motivating other people within the business to be on top of that same ladder. In conclusion, make sure your doers of your business have a clearly defined target that they need to hit on a daily basis. They understand how they can influence that target and influence that result, and make sure it's clearly visible. Create a competitive but fruitful environment for your team. That way, for you as a business owner, you will optimize the return you're getting on your people. And as I said earlier, you won't be held hostage for how they feel on a daily basis and what impact that has on your business.